As Don said, my name is Allison Fentriss, and I'm here with Navy veteran Linda Fentriss, patriotic quilter of Florida Joanne Shotwell, and Quilt of Valor Foundation member at large and your neighbor, Linda Kasperski. And if I screwed that up, I'm so sorry. We're honored to be part of your Veterans Day presentation. The Quilts of Valor Foundation was started by one mother who was worried about her son being deployed to Iraq post 9/11. In her words, knowing that I was 10 seconds from panic while he was deployed, I had this vision of a warrior struggling with his war demons. I saw him sitting on the side of his bed wrapped in a quilt. That quilt not only comforted, but warded off his demons. She acted on that vision and presented her first quilt at Walter Reed Medical Center, November of 2003. From there, the Quilts of Valor Foundation continues the dedication of covering all of the veterans and service members touched by war with a quilt of comfort and healing. Since we started keeping records around 2010, we've presented over 250,000 quilts. We only have 3 more million to go. Freedom is never free. A veteran is someone who wrote a blank check payable to the United States of America or the King, for an amount up to and including their life. Veterans Day is the day we honor everyone who signed that blank check. Quilts of Valor Foundation is here to add 5 more to our presented roster. Recipients, a Quilt of Valor has 3 parts. The top is stitched and pieced, sewn together and bound to remind you of the many diverse people and unique individuals with whom you served, your brothers and sisters in arms. The center of the sandwich, the batting, is our hope that this quilt will bring warmth, comfort, peace, and healing to the individual who receives it. The backing is the strength that supports the other layers. It represents the strength of the recipient, the strength of the unit, of family, and the strength that comes from the grateful strangers. Each stitch holding the pieces and layers together represents love and gratitude and tears of the maker. A Quilt of Valor also has a 3-part message. First, we honor you for your service. Second, we know that freedom is not free, and this quilt says thank you for your sacrifice. Third, these quilts are meant to offer comfort. We consider it a privilege to honor you, as we will never know the extent of your sacrifice and service to protect and defend the country. Earlier, the Armed Forces medley was played, service colors were presented, and you were asked to stand with your branch of service. We've been asked to do something similar. The veterans being honored here today are wrapped individually, but they're also representing all of Highland Lake veterans for their respective wars. When we mention your war or era, please stand if you're able with your fellow service members. Our first recipient represents all women who have served in the armed forces. Lori Sendall, United States Army and the Korean War. Would all women who have served in the armed forces please stand if they're able, and would Lori Sendall please come forward. Please give a round of applause to these women. Ms. Sendall, come forward. Ms. Sendall joined the Army at 17 and served at the Pentagon. She had top secret clearance known as a cosmic clearance. She handled secret, sensitive cryptological messages during the Korean War from 1950 to 1953. She then went on to the National Chamber of Commerce, serving many years where she was cited multiple times for distinguished service. Thank you for your service, Ms. Sendall. If you'd stay up front for a little while, we promise not to make you stand too terribly long. You can sit down. Sorry. Our next recipient represents the Vietnam conflict. If you served in Vietnam, please stand. Jim Vilsack, United States Army. If you would step forward and come front. Please give a round of applause to these men and women who served in Vietnam. Welcome home. Vilsack served with an engineering unit which cleared land and built roads and airstrips. He often had the unenviable job of needing to retrieve broken down heavy equipment in hostile enemy territory, where he tried to repair vehicles while on the lookout for enemy troops. He narrowly escaped serious injury when road mines blew up part of a vehicle. Mr. Vilsack has long volunteered in many capacities in Highland Lakes. Mr. Vilsack, we thank you for your service and welcome home. Our next recipient also represents the Korean War with Ms. Sundal and the other half of the age-old rivalry of the Army-Navy. Howard Itzkowitz, 91, of the United States Navy. Would all of those who served during the Korean War please stand? And would Mr. Itzkowitz please come forward? Thank you for serving, Victoria. Thank you for serving. So that I don't stutter on it again. Howie served twice, and he asked me over the weekend which one was I honoring him for, and I said for both. He was first called to duty during the closing days of World War II and served from 46 to 48. He was then recalled to duty during the Korean War, 51 to 52. He's lived in Highland Lakes for 35 years, and I understand is well known in your little theater and as a great singer. Thank you for your service. And our presentation wouldn't be complete without others from the greatest generation, those who served during World War II. Gordon Goodman, who's 99, and Frank Reiser, who's 94. Would all of those who are here who served during World War II, if you're able, please stand up so we can thank you as well. Mr. Goodman and Mr. Reiser, if you could come forward. Mr. Reiser, if you would come forward also. As Mr. Goodman said, he served with the Royal Air Force during World War II. On his 19th birthday, he flew his first bombing mission over Germany. He flew 30 bombing missions in all and was shot down over the English Channel during his D-Day invasion. He clung to a dinghy until being rescued. He later became a U.S. citizen and served as a lawyer and judge in the state of Michigan and has lived in Highland Lakes for 20 years. Thank you for your service, Mr. Goodman. Even if it was Mr. Reiser served with the 84th Infantry Division during World War II. He earned a Bronze Star as his unit battled their way across 200 miles through Belgium into Germany, taking 13 cities from Nazi control. He ended at the Elbe River, where he shook hands with Russian soldiers. He's a volunteer with another organization near and dear to my heart, the Honor Flight of West Central Florida. Thank you for your service, Mr. Reiser. Recipients, quilters say that every quilt tells a story. The stories of these quilts began by those who share your love of country. On each quilt is a label which tells you about the quilt's beginning. As of today, the story of the quilt becomes yours. We hope you keep it with you as a tangible reminder that no matter where or how you served, you have never been forgotten. On behalf of the 11,000 plus members that make up the Quilts of Valor Foundation, we stand here to honor and present these quilts to you. May they comfort you and keep you warm, reminding you of a grateful nation who is so thankful you did not have to sign that check paid in full. Please give all of our veterans another round of applause.